Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This is Katie with Katie Plans. Thank you again for joining me today. I am going to talk a little bit about the Cultivate What Matters PowerSheets and give a little bit of a review, talk about my thoughts on them, and what I'm hoping, what my goals are for this week, or for this coming month. So let's get into it. First, I want to say that I have the 2019 PowerSheets, the Undated. So I bought the PowerSheets back in 2019, April, and I bought the Undated because we were already halfway through, or we were a quarter of the way through the year, and I wasn't sure about them, so it was cheaper to get the Undated sheets than to buy a new set. And I did go through, so if you're not familiar with PowerSheets, maybe I'll do a quick review of what they have. So they have this whole section is just, well, they start with stickers, but beginning on page 7, they have just tons of things of trying to figure out what your goals in life should be, or based on what your overall lifelong goals, maybe where you should be focusing. So the PowerSheets are created by Laura Casey, and one of the things she talks about is getting to think about what you want your life to look at like at 80, or what will you want your life to have looked like when you're 80. So looking back at your life when you're 80, what do you want to have accomplished and things. And I think that's a great way to, I do think that can be a great way to figure out what your goal should be and where you should be focusing in a given time. I think for me, one of the things that was interesting when I went through this, granted I went through this over a year ago, was that I was looking for how do I fit all my goals together and where do I start. And I think this really did, it's a lot of journaling. Like all of this is mostly journaling. There's a couple, well, let's get to page 7. All of this is journaling and quotes, a couple quote pages. I've seen someone else count up, and like there's like 50 pages, and so there are people that each year they get their PowerSheets early in the year, and then they'll spend almost 2 months prepping for the next year. So they take like a page a day, skipping here or there. But that's just the prep, the first half of the prep work. And then you get into the actual goals. So there's a tab for goals, and they talk about threads and how the things that kept coming up in your journaling section, those are threads to help you identify your goals. Do a little bit of that. And then finally you get into deciding on a goal. Let's see. I remember. So then you write out your goals, and then you write out action plans. And I do like this step of it, like figuring out like your big picture goal, why, and then kind of more expanding on that, and then what does progress look like? What are steps are you going to take? So it does have a good like making a good action plan for your goals, which I think was something that I did needed when I bought this. I wasn't quite sure. I think part of the frustration I had with these was at the time I was also looking for, if I can't do everything right now, what should I focus on? And I guess maybe in some ways it does hit on that, but for me, I think part of it was that I was looking for a domino that would help me accomplish more than what I was currently able to. So I actually have started this following a little bit Kendra Hennessy. She's from Mother Like a Boss. She has a podcast and courses and all kinds of things, a website and blog. But she talks about, one of the things she talks about is finding like your domino. So what is the one thing that if you knocked that over is going to knock more things over for you? And I think that's what I was looking for when I bought this planner. And I don't know that this planner, or this, well, I guess it is a planner. It's a goal setting planner. I don't know that this planner will help you decide what domino to focus on. Maybe some people get through it and they are able to figure it out. That was one of the drawbacks and frustrations for me, and maybe why I haven't stuck with this planner, because you can see I started this planner in April of last year, and now it's June. I did try and do a month earlier this year. I think I tried to do it again in April, and I left it off for May. Now I'm going to try again for June, and we'll see. I feel like I need to give it a good try, but I did want to point out that frustration that I had with this goal-setting planner. I haven't really tried many others. I know, like, I've been through a lot of leadership programs and things where they talk about setting the SMART goals and, like, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, or reasonable, and time-bound are kind of the SMART goals. And she talks about that here. So, like, how to set goals wasn't really a thing for me. It was trying to figure out what order should I be pursuing my goals in to optimize what I want to accomplish, if that makes sense. So for me, I think it was trying to figure out where do I focus now so that in 3 months I can move on and focus on the next step. Like, what order should I pursue my goals in? I think was something that I was looking for, and I wasn't quite figuring that out. And so that's something that I don't know that this, like I said, I don't know that this planner can help with. I think there are steps in that direction, but not necessarily like, oh, you should do this goal first, and then you can meet this goal, and then you can meet this goal, and if you do this, you'll be able to do this. So that's kind of, I guess, the one drawback to this planner. Trying to get back into it, back to what this planner does allow for. So, like I said, it has you make your action plan through these steps, and then there's June of last year. I'm going to flip to a month I haven't even started. All right. So you start out each month, you kind of get maybe I'll start at the end of the month. At the end of each month, you get, that's the end of a quarter. At the end of each month, you get like a refresher, or like you can go back and see what worked, what didn't work. You kind of review your month. So that's for a quarter. The next month, to start out, you go through kind of brain dumping, figuring out what you want to do for that month. You have a section to talk about what's on the calendar and stuff, things that are coming up. And then you try and think about what you might actually be able to accomplish this month. You have a blank space. They have a wildcard on their website, what they call wildcard pages, and you stick those on the back of here, or you can use it for anything you feel like you need to. And then you have what she calls your tending list. And so, and I'll go more into it, but it breaks down into monthly, weekly, and daily actions or habits that you want to track. And these you pull from the goals you set at the beginning of the planner. So you pull from your action steps. Like you'll pull from these things. So that's what this section's for. You kind of write down some possible action steps you can take and go from there. Like I said, I do like the idea of this planner, and I keep going back to it, or gone back to it a couple times, trying to. One thing I found really interesting going back today, because I actually set up for the June coming up. I went back through some of the goals and things, and they do still kind of align with where I'm at in my life and things that I want to accomplish, like big overarching goals. Maybe partly because I haven't been able to finish them over the year. I found it really interesting that I did have a lot of the goals were still applicable. A lot of the goals were still things that I could apply now. Although I didn't look at my 10 written out goals, just the action step goals. Well, I did kind of, and these do, I think, kind of align with where I'm at. It's a little bit different. Oh, I forgot to talk about the refresh section. So each quarter, so this being a 6-month one only has one kind of refresh section, but every 3 months you kind of go through and talk about how the 3 months went. Are your goals still the same? And then you can go on to the next one. Maybe I should have just started with the refresh, but I had enough space in the goal planning section to work on it. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about my pending list to wrap up this video. So like I said, each month you kind of write down, you have a couple brainstorming pages for where you want to be, and then you can sort of go through and figure out from that what you want your month to look like. So this month, in my monthly action items, I'm going to be working on, one of my goals is just to actually complete the full month. So I kind of did for April, I got through maybe half the month. I didn't quite finish. I didn't do the review for April. And I don't know that I'm going to go back and do that 2 months later, or over a month later. Another goal is to make a plan for my YouTube channel and where I want that to be going. Clean off my balcony. So one of my more overarching goals is just more outside time. So cleaning off my balcony will allow me to actually go use it. Close out the year for the PTA, and then develop a better morning and bedtime routine, because I'm not really happy with how those things are going. Weekly action items, I want to make sure I'm spending time with my oldest. It's a little bit harder with him being in school, and then his younger brother, just different things. So I want to make sure I'm having time with him. Spend an hour organizing and decluttering. That's another area in my life, or another area that I've been focusing on. And I think I've mentioned that I do have areas that I'm working on in my house. There again, going back to the getting outside, get outside on the balcony at least twice a week, and then take my vitamin. It's a weekly vitamin, so I only have to take it once a week, but I need to really take it. And then I actually don't have one daily habit, which is to spend 30 minutes outside, at least each day. I don't know if I'll really be willing to go out in the rain, so we'll see. But I want to be better about getting outside, particularly now that it's a nicer time of year, trying to plan for the summer and what my schedule with my boys will look like this summer. And so just trying to get outside more is one of my big goals. So that's my list and my review. I will try to do a video at the end of June. Maybe that'll hold me accountable to, I don't know that I'll go over this page, but at least review my progress in June, like how far did I actually get, and give you an update on my thoughts on this, particularly after I go through maybe the refresh in the setting up for July, if I can actually do that this time. I hope this was a useful review for people who want to know what it's really like, because I don't think I fully understood. I do think these are very different from the other systems that I've seen. Like, it's not just oh, here, write down your goal and map it out thing. It does, like I said, it has a lot of journaling. Like, half of this book, which is the 6 months, is just pages for journaling to figure out journaling and goal setting to figure out where you want to go. Okay, so I kind of lost my train of thought because my space ran out on my phone for recording this. So I think what I was saying was that this has a lot of great journaling for and figuring out what goals might be truly in line with where you want to go in life. I think that's a great option. If you know already what your goals are and you just want somewhere to map them out and be able to track them, this planner may not be the best system for you because it does go through so much, and just for the price that it is, it may be better to just buy a cheaper goal planner or a notebook or something else. I haven't really tried any other systems, so I don't know, and maybe I'll try something else after July or later in the year. I'll kind of see. I've kind of been thinking about like the Erin Condren goal planner or goal planner journal. So I'll see what I think of this, and hopefully I can give you an update at the end of June and looking into July and the refresher and going forward. I do like the ideas behind this planner or this goal planner, but I'm not 100% going to say, hey, this is definitely the greatest thing ever, because clearly I haven't really been using it. So I will say that I believe the 2020 planners are a little bit better quality. Like, the covers are not flimsy, but like they're more like thick cardboard or like plastic covered cardboard. I don't know. They're thinner than some other covers are. So that might be something to keep in mind. I do think they've upgraded a good bit for 2020, so keep that in mind as well. And I actually looked on their website today. They have, I think, a special going on for like a refresh kit for where's the Undated planner and a few other items to kind of get you going through the rest of the year. So that's something to look at. And I forgot to mention that to color code my goals, I used my Erin Condren dot stickers that are transparent, so that's why you can see the writing it's actually under. But I thought I would add that in, that I did use these for my goal planning. They do have, or I did find my goal setting sticker book, and that's something that There's probably a version of this available on the website. It has lots of stickers and looks really fun. So I actually bought my planner last year as part of a bundle, and the sticker book came with it, along with some of the wild cards. So that's just something I wanted to throw in there. So anyway, let me know what you think down below. How do you like to goal plan? What are your plans during this time? If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, please hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you see when my videos pop up. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.